High school football week number 4 across our local area, and another matchup we take a look at as the Handley Judges travel to face Brentsville. Last week, the Handley Judges fall to Kettle Run, their first loss of the season. Now joining me, the head coach of the Handley Judges, Jake Smith. And coach, first and foremost, just looking back on this game against Kettle Run, sort of what stood out to you that pleased you about your team despite the loss, and maybe a message that you gave to the team after the loss, since it's early on in the season? Obviously not a result you want, but still a very close game. Just give me your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I don't think we played particularly well in the first half. That was, basically our halftime discussion. And basically at halftime, I brought the guys in and just said, hey, look, like this isn't our brand of football. This isn't how we play. We need to play, Handley football in the second half, and, we'll score early. We'll get a stop. We'll score again, and the game will be on in the fourth quarter. And that's exactly what happened. And there just wasn't enough time, unfortunately, but you can't start, the way we started and expect to beat a team like Kettle Run. The positive takeaway from that is, we were 6 points away from, being able to win the game. Unfortunately that we didn't, but I think it allows us to kind of see and kind of gauge where we're at. First 2 weeks, we're kind of lopsided scores. So, it's the first time in a sense you're really challenged this year. From that perspective, I thought we responded well, particularly in the second half, and we'll continue to get better moving into this week.
So you mentioned the speech at halftime. How well do you think the team responded to that in hopes of coming back to potentially win? Unfortunately, falling short. But you have Tristan running 2 in. You have Hassan with some action as well, and also Will Yoder getting a couple catches as well. Just take me through what that was like, seeing the growth of your team from the first half to the second half.
Yeah, I thought they responded to the message well. I mean, we got the ball to start the second half, and we scored pretty quick, which I think kind of gave us some momentum. We turned that around and got either a stop or a turnover and scored again quickly. And so, we turned 14 points, in several minutes, and, we gained some momentum there. Proud of the kids. They fought really hard. They played hard. And for the most part, we executed well, in the second half, and hats off to Tristan. I mean, he played a great game, for us, running the ball and throwing the ball. That was a big moment, for a freshman quarterback, and I thought he handled it well. Obviously Will Yoder coming up with some big catches when we needed them was also beneficial.
So, looking at the success that you have had in the second half in sort of trying to eliminate the first half, how do you look to sort of combine that in practice with all the positives you take out of this game moving into this Friday night as you travel to Brentsville?
Yeah, and, one thing in particular, I thought we needed to increase our physicality. We did that this week. I thought we needed to do a better job of paying attention to detail and detail orientation. I thought we did a good job with that this week as well. And then lastly, just making sure that we're playing fast and we know exactly what we're supposed to do on every snap, whether offensive, defensively, or special teams. And so far this week, I thought we've done that. I think it was a great response from our kids. Anytime you lose a game, on Monday, you're kind of always, where are we at and how are we going to respond? But everybody was locked and loaded and ready to go and seemed to be extremely motivated.
And last but not least, just looking at this Brentsville team, they have played every other team in our local area so far. What is your scout in your mind, and what would you like to try to stop them from doing to essentially have them play left-handed and hopefully get a win on Friday?
Well, I think first and foremost, they're very well coached. He's done a great job down there since he's been there. They have systems offensively and defensively. They run them well. They execute at a high level. I think they've gotten significantly better, as the season has gone on from week 1 to week 3. They've improved every week in different facets of the game. And obviously them coming off a win in their most recent game against Millbrook, they have a lot of confidence and they'll be riding that into this week. And so, we just have to play our brand of football. eliminate turnovers. That was something that hurt us last week, and have to get lined up correctly and on both assignments defensively. And that hurt us a little bit last week as well. And like I said, so far this week, I think we did a good job with all of those things.
It is the Handley Judges as they travel to face Brentsville, part of week 4 action in our local area high school games. Always so gracious for his time, the head coach of the John Handley Judges, Jake Smith. Coach, really appreciate it as always. Looking forward to catching up with you soon.
Yep, thanks for having me.